Join Dalton and Jacob as they discuss the ever-changing world of trading card games. TCG Buzz starts now.
What's up, Buzz Squad? It's your boy Dalton, back at it again with Jacob.
Hello.
This is a little weird. We're at the same table, but enough distance this time.
Yeah. If you only stick around for our weekly live streams that we do, you'll notice things are quite different looking.
Just a wee bit.
So not only are we in our new studio now, which is very cool. We were obviously recording this for you guys here. We're also recording a ton of matches and stuff from here. We are also taking that as a good opportunity to do some much-needed rebrandings and reworkings and make sure everything's great for the second era of TCG Buzz.
Yes, the 2000K rebrand, I guess you could call it.
2000K?
Yes, 2000K. I like my 2000K.
Okay.
I'm going for carrots, not...
So this is replacing our weekly discussions we'll be doing as live streams, this new show. However, that doesn't mean we're not going to be live streaming. Dalton and I love live streaming. We're just going to be doing different things.
Yes. Sounds like it's going to be a great time.
So what are we actually doing?
Well, we have a set coming out in about a week or less, depending on when this is out.
Yeah.
So it's set preview time.
We're going to do a set preview, and it's funny because usually we don't do them so close to a release. We usually do them
about a week.
A week. Sometimes we do them way earlier because we want to, because we're excited.
It depends, or people really want it.
Right.
You know.
But we're doing it now, and that's for what?
So, Soaring Superior Deity Dragon.
Soaring. These names are getting worse and worse. I seriously, I really don't like the name.
Double S, double D?
Yeah. But not only is it the alliteration, it's also not a very memorable name. You know, War of Dragons. That's a pretty memorable name. First of all, it's short, which is good, but it doesn't sound like 10 other sets we've already gotten.
This sounds like other sets.
It kind of does to me.
It sounds like more like cards than sets.
Maybe.
Because you got your Soaring Fair Skyline in there. You have, maybe there's a superior card, then you have Deity Dragon.
Yeah. I don't really like it. It doesn't... I like the...
It doesn't roll off the tongue well.
It really doesn't.
That's what you're trying to get.
But I also... in general, I like sets that have a name that can tell me what's in it. Right?
Well, obviously, flying superior deity dragons. Duh.
That's maybe a tenth of the set. So
this new set supports what was it? 3 worlds?
Yeah, Dragon, Danger,
Legend. And Legend.
First of all, Danger World support in a main booster set, always a plus.
Twice in the same season?
Yeah, that never happens. To be fair, we basically are in a separate season. They just forgot to cut Ace off and start something new.
Ace 2.
I mean, that's set 7 of Ace. The previous record for most sets in a season was 5. And now we're at 7, and we have 8 on the way, too.
And Climax Booster 3.
Yeah,
2 and 3.
Bushiroad, please end Ace.
Or something.
Please. New season.
Figure out that anime. Alright, so you have some cards selected, yeah?
I do. I will say, whenever a new set comes out for Buddyfight, I find it tends to be in, like, the Jacob camp or the Dalton camp. It's either there are a ton of cards in it that Jacob's excited for and Dalton's like, right? Or it's there are tons of things for Dalton and Jacob's over here like, right?
Nah, just wait. We'll get there.
This set's a little more on your side, I'd say.
Nice little.
Yeah.
You know it's a lot.
It's a lot. I actually don't have all that many cards I'm personally going to be playing from this set, but there
it's
are
not about cards you're looking to play, though. It's about cards that intrigue you.
Right. Even if I'm not playing something, I might still be excited because I think it's a really interesting idea and something fun to play against, or just something healthy to fix the state of the game, because the game's not great right now.
Well, maybe the Danger World stuff, and then it ends there.
Oh,
in my opinion.
really?
Because we kind of talked about some of the Legend World cards that I might have to bring up because they're good for decks.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start with.
We'll start with you.
I'm gonna run through a couple cards. We're gonna do this out of order. I think we'll just run through all the ones I want to go through, and then yours.
Or we could just do Danger World, whichever one works for you.
I like my idea. We're gonna talk about the Godpunk support. I will bring up the size 3 monster briefly, but I'll say I'm not gonna run it. It's in theory a cool card because what it does is it's the card Bar King Solomon on a monster. So whenever your opponent
Bar King Solomon on a stick. That's all you had to say.
Right. When they would draw a card outside of their draw phase, they have to discard a card once per turn. And that sounds like a good thing, but there are 2 big problems. One, that's not enough for a Godpunk deck. So, like, if you ran that at 4 and you, in your opening hand, you see 4 of it, you lose, right? You need your other discard abilities to make it worth running. And in that case, I'd rather just run more discard cards, right?
Right.
And 2, the fundamental flaw here is it requires you to have an item equipped.
No, not really. It just says an item. It doesn't specify Godpunk item.
No, but the Godpunk items are both. There are 2 of them. I was really hoping we'd get a new one in the set, but we didn't. Awful. Don't run items in your Godpunks. Just don't do it. Maybe you can do some really interesting tech in with some, more generic Danger World weapons, but I don't know. I don't think weapons
I think that was kind of the idea, but
yeah. I don't think weapons have a place in Godpunks. So I think this card's actually going to see more use outside of Godpunks as an interesting tech-in card.
Fair enough.
But you want to talk about good cards for Godpunks? We got to talk about the other one. I want to see what its name is. That's the wrong card.
Scariest Stare?
Yes.
That's the reprint.
No, not that one. Absolute Power. Galactus Killing is its name. It's an impact. Godpunk's already had an impact, but it was meh.
Yeah.
Right? This one is not. So first of all, it fixes the number 1 problem with Godpunks, and that's that they don't have anything to spend their gauge on. Because they gauge ramp like crazy, but they've got nothing to do with it.
Well, that's why you play Lost World, right?
Sometimes. This card costs 4 gauge, which is nothing for a Godpunk deck. I've had 20 on the first turn, right?
Yeah.
And you can only cast it if you have a Godpunk monster on your field, which is probably healthy, because then you won't see people who just play the set spells outside of this deck running and being able to run this.
Watch me.
So you pay 4, deal 3 damage to your opponent, gain 3 life. Your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand and discards them, and you draw 2 cards. Then end the final phase. It's draw power, it's discard power, and you gain life and deal damage. The important thing about that is it's one of the few Godpunk discard cards that's still good if your opponent has anti-discard in hand.
Yeah, but
not as good, but still drawing 2, dealing 3, and gaining 3, that's pretty good.
I don't know if it's an impact necessarily worthy of the end the final phase.
Yeah, that's the sticking point, isn't it? I suppose it's so, you can't go first and then draw because of die pans and, have 30 gauge or, 15 gauge and then like 20 cards in hand and be like, I impact, and you have no cards in your hand and I've got my set spell on the field, so you are locked out of the game forever.
So you mean Dual Golems?
Yes.
That's what Dual Golems did. They gauge ramp, draw, get all their impacts, and die, die. I don't know. It's probably for the discard part of it, because it might be a little too strong along with the draw, but I don't know. I feel like maybe they should have gotten 2 impacts in this.
Yeah.
One that would have been more damage focused, right? Mm-hmm. That you could keep casting repeatedly, and then to end on this one. Type deal to make it work. But because you're not going to play the other one. Mm-hmm. So it needed.
What I would do is like
to its yang.
I would do like cast this card. It has no restriction on what the opponent's life is, right? But it's like deal 7 damage to your opponent.
No.
Hang on.
No.
Hang on.
No.
Listen to the work.
We're done.
-1 damage for each card in their hand.
I respect.
Also, you did mention as a joke, but the Godpunk promo card is getting reprinted. The one that reduces the opponent's critical by 3 on a card, and then if it's reduced to 0, you draw a card. It's a good card, but I don't care about the reprint because when I was in Atlanta, I picked up a full playset of the original printing in foil.
Well, there you go.
So I don't need it.
Maybe you like this foil better. Who knows?
Nope.
You never know.
Nope.
You never know.
Nope.
We'll see once we get them. If we get them.
No, I'm going to stick with the original. I know. But it's good, especially for players, who don't have access to tournaments in their local area.
Nearby, right, right.
So I'm always a fan of reprinting promo cards.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any other Danger World cards that...
That's it for me for Danger World.
Well, you forgot about the most important Danger World card there is.
Yeah?
You forgot about Jet, Black, Storm, Tyrant, Cerberus, my guy.
Oh my gosh, he's so cool.
So how could you forget that? Remember, interesting cards.
No,
interesting.
Because I thought you would bring it up. I was saving it.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Cerberus has kind of been... For a while, Cerberus was ignored.
I would say more swing and a miss type deal. Like, it would hit or it wouldn't hit type
What
deal.
I'm saying is, like, it was one of the 3 original primary buddies.
Right.
It was Drum, it was him, and it was Osmodai, right?
Who's
Osmodai
that?
gets tons of new cards.
Who dat?
Drum gets tons of new cards. They both have entire archetypes that are just them, right?
This is true.
Cerberus, he gets maybe
Has 3.
1 card per season.
Well, I was going to say he has 3 archetypes around him.
Yes, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
the actual number of cards based on him is so much less.
This is fair, but to be fair, Drum was protagonist. Mm-hmm. Asmodai ended
Fan
up being...
favorite?
I was going to say just ended up being an Omnilord, hence why he got so much more support.
I don't know.
If he wasn't an Omnilord, he wouldn't get so many copies. If Cerberus was an Omnilord, he'd get more.
I don't think that's true.
I'm just saying that Omnilord tag has a lot of power. Just saying. But now let's get back to the card and what it does. Well, it has no call cost. Already 10 out of 10, 100% best Cerberus you'll ever see in your life.
Matches the original, because the original didn't have the call cost.
I thought it was a gauge.
Maybe.
Pretty sure it was a
I might
gauge.
be misremembering. I don't know.
When this card enters the field, equip up to 1 Tyrant item. So yes, you are restricted to Tyrant items. But that's okay.
Tyrant items are good.
Yes.
They are. They're legitimately really good items, so...
Tyrant punks?
Maybe.
Okay.
We've tossed out the idea. That's the fun thing about God Punks, though, is...
They're so splashable.
They're so splashable in everything.
Danger World, obviously.
Yeah. No, I was planning on splashing them into a Contino World Electro Deity deck.
Oh, yes, because beautiful right there.
Just don't call the judge, please.
From deck, buy paying its equip cost, and shuffle your deck, then you gain a life. Because I believe there are a few Tyrant items that have their skills proc when you gain life, so perfect wording there. And then counter for its second skill. During your attack phase, call up to 1 monster from your deck with Cerberus in its card name, other than itself. From a card with...
From your deck?
Yes.
From your deck?
It's GG's, man.
Can you imagine if they gave that to, like, Drum? How much more broken it would be?
All right, so we got to talk about the whole reissue cards.
Yeah.
Drums is not as good as it needs to be. If we've seen Drum, I feel like we saw Drum, right?
No.
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 All right, so back to that. It needs to call for drums from the deck, and Grave. But already, that means if you're lucky enough to draw into Impact Cerberus, you can call another one out.
Anytime you can call an Impact monster out of the Impact, the
Out of anywhere.
actual final phase,
Yes,
is great.
it is.
And there aren't that many good Cerberuses to toolbox out, to be fair. Most of his forms are rather antiquated by this point.
It'd probably be Buster Ace or Ace. It's really the Aces.
Yeah.
Because they want to be in Soul and they give stats. That's about it.
What was the recent-ish one?
Oh, that one. I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of meh, though.
No, it's not mad. It's actually pretty good. Now I gotta check. Gosh darn it, Jacob.
Please stand by. Arm Demon Armor Knight Cerberus.
No, it was Tyrant Elgar Cerberus.
Are we talking about different Cerberuses?
See, that wasn't lineage.
It is. I'm in lineage. There are two Cerberuses in this.
Which one am I? Wait, why is there two bunny lineages? I'm so confused. Oh, you're right. What's Tyrant Cerberus one, though? All Tyrants get +3/+1 crit and penetrate, and your weapon attacks, you gain 2 life. Then if you have a +4 more crit, gain 3 life. Double attack, which is nice. Then you obviously have that one, which another monster field into a card's soul if you do draw a card. They're both good in their own respective way. It just depends on what build you go for.
Yeah. I like this card because it's the first sign that a Cerberus-only deck could be a thing, which I'm usually not a fan of. No, but focusing on Cerberus is kind of a cool idea. Since
Chill. It's not going to happen. I know you want it to. It's not going to happen.
If you say so. Either way.
They need more.
Either way, Tyrant support.
We need a better SD. We need a super deformed. All right, let's see here. We could talk about the Tyrant item, but it's okay. Well, it's not okay. It's good, but I don't think it's worth talking about. It's kind of like the next step up for Tyrant weapons.
All I know is people are going to be upset if we don't talk about the veggies.
Veggie's good. Meme.
Yeah, good meme. We're not going to talk about any of the cards in specific detail because they're not all that interesting on their own. It's only when you have all of them together.
Mm-hmm. And then when the set comes out, I know Christian wants to build them, so hopefully he can get a deck profile for us.
I'm terrified at how hard that new promo draw spell for Danger World is going to be to get.
Oh, don't remind me.
I'm terrified by that.
I need my 4 copies. All right, off to Dragon World.
Yes.
I
have 2 cards I'd like to talk about.
All right, let's hear what you got.
One of them is absolutely one you'd pick.
Perfect.
So I will start with that one.
Okay.
We're going to talk about cross symbol, demonic meteor, childy, cross symbol, tan dust.
The monster?
Yes.
I was not going to talk about that.
Okay, that's fair. You're probably going to talk about the spell. So I'll talk about the monster because I find it really interesting. So this is a monster for Dragon Blood Sect, which is a really good size 3 deck that just
good wall deck.
Stacks the souls.
Oh yeah,
stacks them. Right. Mm-hmm. Finally, we have a card that synergizes with the fact that you can stack your souls like a madman.
In other words, they stole another Dex thing. They stole what is it? Stronger. Yeah. Stronger and Luminous Blues effects where, hey, look, I gain power equal to all souls on field.
Honestly, Dragon Blood Sects are just a better Star Dragon World, aren't they?
You mean Ancient?
Oh, that too.
It's just better.
So, it's a size 0 monster with 1/1/1 for its stats. How pitiful, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. This card gets a power plus 1,000 and defense plus 1,000 for each soul in cards on your field.
Yes.
So when you have your size 3 in your center with 15 souls, this is a size 0 with legs.
Yes.
And then, when this card attacks, put a card from your drop zone into the soul of a Dragon Blood Sect monster on your field. If you do, gain a life and draw a card. That's...
I have one gripe, but it's a really tedious one. Why was it not a Sylph ripoff?
Oh,
Make
getting
it crit.
No, that would be absurd. So not only does the card get stats upon stats, right, making it a good wall breaker, surprisingly.
It
right?
adds more souls.
It adds more souls and gains you life and draws you cards. And it even has Soul Guard tacked onto it.
Mm-hmm.
That's an amazing card.
Right?
What's the other card they got?
They have 2 other cards, but
Oh, 2 other cards, but one you care about?
I care about both of them. Well, I don't know. It's been a while since
Enough
I've
to
looked
talk
at it.
about both?
I'm going to look at the other one, but for sure, Dragon Blood Iron, Invarion, however you say it.
Dragon Invarion?
Right?
Yeah,
Something
I
like
guess.
that. So, cast cost, drop a soul from a monster on your field. Easy enough. Easy. Counter,
That's literally no cast cost at all, honestly.
stand all Dragon Blood Sect monsters on your field. Busted.
Are you serious? Hang on. That other card's ability, non-once per turn.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
You don't even have to read further.
Oh, okay. You didn't want to hear about the fact that it can reduce the next damage to 0.
That's
Yeah,
cute.
you're right.
That's cute, but
Right. All right.
that's
Then,
absurd.
the other card, Dadan's Territory. It's a set spell. Dragon Blood Sect monsters on your field cannot be returned to hand or put into different areas by your opponent's card effects. Do I need to stop there, or do you want me to keep
no. The other ability, I just skimmed through it. It's not important.
But when a monster in your opponent's field is destroyed, gain more life, deal damage. Very simple.
So
But-
Dragon Blood 6, good support, but they're still not meta because Star Dragon World's still the biggest thing, and Antimatter Cloud exists.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm gonna take an opportunity to talk about the generic support.
I thought you had another Dragon World card.
No. Oh yeah, I do. You're right. I want to call out the card Dragod Glyph
Dragod Glyph.
because it has, in my opinion, the worst art of any card in the entire game. Here, this one.
Oh.
That looks awful. It looks like an anime screenshot, but worse.
No, it is an anime screenshot of an anime screenshot.
Yes, it looks. You know what it looks like? You know, you ever seen like in an anime where they show a
Like-
character watching anime on TV and it's intentionally like super anime eyes to show that
Right.
to them it's an anime? That's what it looks like.
Or it's just Egypt and
Yeah.
hieroglyphics.
It look.
It's
you
either the
could do
coolest or the worst.
You could do so much cooler with that. You could do.
Good. Definitely could.
I hate it. I hate it.
All right. So
All right.
I assume you're going to talk about both generic world cards.
Sure. We got a reprint of A Wise Move, which is a very good card and is seeing more and more play, so
Very
it
good,
is
very good.
appreciated. And then we have Sweet Happy Time. Pay a Life. This is our new staple generic card that they like to throw at us every couple of sets.
It seems like every set now.
Yeah, it really does, but the last few haven't really,
Yet.
stuck.
Yet.
Yeah. So, counter. Choose and use one of the following 3. During this turn, all monsters on your opponent's field get defense minus 10,000. That's
Beautiful.
probably the most important one. We've had very little ability to decrease the opponent's defense, especially for a generic card. That's fantastic.
Right.
Second, during this turn, all monsters on your field cannot be rested by your opponent's card effects. That's good, but most decks already have that, right?
Yeah.
And during this turn, the abilities of monsters on your field cannot be nullified by your opponent's card effects. Again, good, but most decks probably already have that.
Except for Folktale.
Right.
So, in other words, it's a fantastic Folktale card. That's not.
Both of those second abilities are good enough to make it a consideration, but that first ability is the star of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And now I am done talking about cards. It's Dalton's turn to rant about Legend World.
You have nothing for Legend World?
No.
All right. Well, let's start off with the reprint. Sour Guard's getting reprinted. That is fantastic. It's beautiful. It's about gosh darn time.
I don't know. I would have preferred if they had reprinted the Sophia Triple T card. Or not Sophia. Who's on the... Is it Sophia?
Kiri.
No, it's Kiri. Kiri. You're right.
No, I want this one.
No.
Looks
Okay.
better.
Okay.
Looks better. Demon Encyclopedia Undian. Names. I'm sorry.
I never thought I'd see the day of truly good wider Sakal support.
So, effect. If a wider Sakal monster is on your field, all wider Sakals on your field cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, returned to hand by your opponent's card effects, and their abilities cannot be nullified by your opponent's card effects. Why do they have that so many times? I think it's going to be different once we actually get the card, but I feel like that's overworded.
That is getting a little Yu-Gi-Oh-y.
Yes. Fantastic. I just wish it had anti-rest there because that'd be just so good. But
That would make
we'll use
size
Sweet
zero
Happy Time.
self.
We'll just use Sweet Happy Time for that.
Yeah.
And then, you want to know what's better? At the start of your attack phase, if you have 3 or more wider Sakals, draw 2 cards. Oh, let me finish. My bad. I stopped real short. And then for the turn, all wider Sakals on the field get plus 10 power and defense and double attack. Yeah. So
Remember when you had to set up like crazy for Decree of Dullahan back in the day just to give your things double attack?
Yeah.
And now it's a free ability on an item with a bunch of extra goodies?
What are you talking about? All I'm looking at is be prepared. OTK Sylph is coming back.
Yeah.
All right. I could get into like almost every little card for Legend Dragons, some Messiah Arms, but I kind of want to talk about them more as a
whole
idea separately. So let's start off with Messiah Arms.
I've shared my opinions on it before. Bringing back hate cards is a cool idea, but I kind of feel they've just become the thing they were meant to hate on. It's another deck that just throws out multi-attacking big numbers.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But just with
who says that
dragon
wasn't
hate glued on.
Who says that wasn't the whole point in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, it's not meant to be a wall deck, but
it's still,
I kind of want to see what I can do with Zodiac with it, because I think that'd be a fun time.
It's still interesting, but I am a little bored by everything other than the dragon hate, if that makes sense.
That's fair. But my problem with it is there's so much anti-nullifying already for dragon stuff.
Yeah.
So it depends on what's going to end up happening.
Oh, are we talking about how successful the deck's going to be?
Yes.
I don't think it's going to see any play whatsoever.
I think it has 2 different paths. 1, it's never going to see the day of light. Or 2, that's going to shine so bright until Time Rulers.
Honestly,
or my bad, Time Dragons.
Yeah, I'm seriously, I don't see it seeing any play. I see it being at the state that Folktale was when it was released. I'm dead serious.
Well, that means I gotta show you up then.
I guess
Fair
so.
enough.
Yep.
Fair enough. Legend Dragons, we kind of talked about this before in our live stream however long ago about like WTF Bushi, what are you doing with cards? A lot of the Legend Dragon stuff is good support, but also at the same time too dang good. It's just too much. It's just way too much. Like
it is really getting absurd. I mean, it was already absurd. Right?
I'm just waiting for Quad Buddy now.
The number of attacks you can get in a single turn, and the fact that you can draw out your entire deck. You know,
and you just throw in Lost Rule just cause.
And there are so many other weird things you can do to really break the deck. I mean, set 8. Should I share your spice or no?
No, let's not do that. Let's
okay.
not do that.
Never mind. That'll be for later. But it's too good and not in a fun way. You know?
Because I liked how they were initially kind of being either I can go aggro or strong mid-range. Well, now it's just like I go aggro. Okay. I go aggro.
5 times the aggro of before.
Right. There might still be some mid-range or maybe some control element to it.
I don't know. I think
but on paper, it just screams aggro times 3.
Right. I think that's kind of silly because like you're going to have the opportunity for the OTK at all times.
Exactly.
So why would you even bother?
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I guess the bow item kind of sucks in my opinion. I don't know if you've seen that. That one, the Dokibo, it sucks. It doesn't matter. Oh, look, I get to pay a gauge and drop a card to nullify an attack. It's cute. And all-to-all erases that, so it's basically for free, but you're never going to use it.
What do you think of this set in general?
Legend World. That's what I think.
It's weird because I see a lot of promise from this set. Right?
Yeah, Danger World shows a lot of promise. Their idea of trying to bring back Dragon Hate is fantastic.
It's
the initial thought of Triple Buddy was cute, and then the rest of the cards got shown off.
There's a surprising amount of good legacy support in it for Tyrants and Wider Sakal.
Yeah, you can't forget about that. Good reprints, I'd say.
But you guys will notice we barely talked about Dragon World at all.
Because it's so boring.
This is like the 6th time in a row they've just re-released the same deck for Dragon World for Garga.
Yes, there's that. But there is one card that I know everyone talks about when they look at this set for Dimension Dragons. Mm-hmm. And I think you might have forgotten about it. Endless Renacor. Or however you say it. I honestly don't know. The set spell that all your Dimension Dragon monsters and items on your field cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects.
What's the point anymore?
Act, pay a gauge. If you do, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put up to 1 Dimension Dragon or Lost World from among them into your hand. Rest or drop.
Bushiroad, can you just stop beating around the bush, please? And just give them a card that says, switch your deck to Lost World, then draw all cards but 1, and you win the game.
Or why was Lost World not just its own deck?
Right.
At this point, like, why is it behind this tiny...
I do feel this
or
set
gigantic door, I should say.
Plays it too safe. You know, it's a very by-the-numbers set.
Right.
But with a couple pieces of gold sprinkled in. So if I had to rate it, like, out of 10, I'd give it, like, a 7.5.
I'd give it a 3.
I'm concerned, though. My biggest concern with it is it looks good now, but we've already seen so much for Set 8, and Set 8 looks ridiculous.
Looks bananas.
So I'm kind of worried that people are going to spend lots of money on building stuff from this set, and Set 8 is going to come out, and then Set 7 is completely irrelevant.
Exactly. Like, the only thing...
I'm going to drop my number to a 6.
The only reason why I give it a 3... Yes, I'm the Legend Dragon player. I'm going to be the Messiah Arms player. But I also feel like I won't have fun anymore with those decks. It's probably going to be turn brainless deck.
So the Danger World stuff gets a 10 out of 10, and the rest is...
Danger World, well, I'm not going to go that far. Like, the Tyrant, the Cerberus, fantastic.
Veggies are
the
good. The
Godpunk stuff, good stuff. Bushiroad actually printing meme cards. Good on you, Bushi.
It's like Ozen's, but playable.
I was kind of getting at the Osmodize that we never got, but that works.
What's funny is looking at those and go, how many of those would actually still be broken now? Maybe we should do that for a video sometime.
Let us know if we should. Dragon World, I don't think there's a single reprint in Dragon World, which is hilarious. Dragon Blood Sex stuff, fantastic. New Garga deck, Snore. Dimension Dragons get Broken Set Spell and maybe something else that's going to get put into the deck. Generic, can never be mad with Generic as of this point. And Legend World, Wider Sakal's in the reprint really save it for me, but again, it's just, it feels too brainless.
Again, I'm going to state for probably, the 3rd booster set review in a row, that I think that Bushiroad's cut down number of cards in the set, it really hurts it.
Yeah, because you just, all you do then is overcreate, not overcreate, but overpower cards.
Yeah. They tried to go for quality over quantity, and I think that actually is hurting them in the long run. I think the sets would be a lot better if they were a little bit.
I feel like there needs to be like a third thing with that, with the whole quantity versus quality.
Yeah.
Like, you have quality, but it's like, there's something else there. I don't know what word it would be. It's just too much. Definitely too much.
All right, well, anything else?
Um, nope.
Outro.
Perfect. Make sure to subscribe, guys, if you want to see more talking points like this. It does feel a little shorter because I feel like live streams go on for so much longer. Maybe because we get distracted and
We
go off
do.
in tangents,
We do.
and we're trying to be more focused. Follow us on Instagram. Join our Discord if you want to keep talking. You can support us by checking out our shop or joining our Patreon. Links will be in the description down below. Jacob, any final words?
Make sure, because these episodes are available in audio format from your favorite podcast app, that when you
don't want to look at Jacob's
on your
ugly
daily commute, you can listen to them. So you should totally do that.
Yeah, so you don't have to look at Jacob's ugly mug. I understand.
Wow.
Man, such a disappointing set. Like, it's a good but disappointing set.
Let us know what you guys think about it. Are you excited? Is it the Messiah Arms that are doing it? It's probably the Messiah Arms.
What was the set before Was it Blazing Overclash or?
You talking about War of Dragons?
Yeah, War Drag. No, because it was Blazing Overclash. What set came out after? There was a set. I'm missing a set somewhere, or it hasn't happened yet.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Or one of the sets, it's like it came out, it's gonna be super hyped, but then it also gets overshadowed super fast by the next set. I think it was War Dragons. I don't know. So above all else, stay classy, y'all.
Thanks for listening to TCG Buzz. New episodes can be found on tcgbuzz.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For box openings, deck profiles, and more, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.